Today we're entering the magical world of Studio Ghibli to count down the top 10 greatest movies of all time, filled with breathtaking adventures, unforgettable emotions, stunning worlds, and timeless storytelling. From heartwarming journeys to epic fantasy, these masterpieces define magic. Let's get started. Coming in at number 10, Porco Rosso. The story follows Marco Pago, an Italian World War I fighter ace who has been mysteriously cursed with the face of a pig and now works as a freelance bounty hunter in the Adriatic Sea, protecting ships from sky pirates in his red seaplane. Known as Porco Rosso, he lives a solitary life haunted by the ghosts of fallen comrades and the trauma of war. When a cocky American pilot named Curtis challenges him and shoots down his plane, Porco must travel to Milan to have his aircraft rebuilt by his old friend Piccolo and his spirited granddaughter, Fio. As fascism rises in Italy and old rivalries reignite, Porco must confront his past and decide what kind of man, or pig, he truly wants to be. Coming in at number 9, Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind. The story is set 1,000 years after a catastrophic war that destroyed civilization, leaving much of the Earth covered by a toxic, expanding forest filled with giant mutant insects. It follows Nausicaa, the courageous princess of a peaceful valley protected by sea winds, who possesses a unique ability to communicate with the monstrous insects called Ohm. When an airship from the militaristic kingdom of Tolmekia crashes in her valley, carrying a dangerous ancient weapon, Nausicaa is thrust into a violent conflict between rival nations seeking to resurrect forbidden power. She embarks on a perilous journey into the heart of the toxic jungle, desperately searching for a way to heal the poisoned world and stop humanity's self-destructive cycle of violence. Coming in at number 8, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. The story follows a bamboo cutter who discovers a tiny, luminous princess inside a glowing bamboo stalk while working in the forest. He and his wife raise her as their own, and she grows at an astonishing speed, becoming a beautiful young woman whom the villagers call Takenoko, or Little Bamboo. Believing she deserves a life of nobility, the bamboo cutter uses the gold and fine cloth that continue to appear in the bamboo to move the family to a mansion in the capital, forcing Kaguya into a world of suffocating aristocratic expectations and unwanted suitors. As she struggles against the constraints placed upon her, Kaguya begins to remember her celestial origins and must confront the painful truth of where she truly belongs. Coming in at number 7, Castle in the Sky. The story follows Shida, a young girl who possesses a mysterious blue crystal pendant and is pursued by sky pirates, government agents, and the military. She is rescued by Pazu, a brave boy who works in a mining town and dreams of finding the legendary floating city of Laputa, which his father once glimpsed in a photograph. The two children form a bond and go on the run together, racing against the sinister Colonel Muska, who seeks the crystal to unlock Laputa's ancient and devastating power. Their adventure takes them across the skies in a series of airborne chases, leading them to the hidden castle in the clouds where they must decide the fate of its long-lost technology. Coming in at number 6, Kiki's Delivery Service. The story follows Kiki, a 13-year-old witch who, according to tradition, must leave her family and spend a year living independently in a new town. Flying on her broom, with her talking black cat Gigi by her side, she arrives at a bustling seaside city called Koriko, where she struggles to find her place. After helping a kind baker, she starts a flying delivery service, using her broom to transport goods throughout the city. As Kiki navigates the challenges of running a business, making new friends, and dealing with self-doubt, she suddenly loses her magical abilities and must learn to believe in herself again before she can take to the skies once more. Before we continue, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on more exciting content like this. Coming in at number 5, Grave of the Fireflies. The story is set in Japan during the final months of World War II and follows Seita, a teenager, and his little sister Setsuko, who are left orphaned after American firebombing raids destroy their home and take their mother's life. With nowhere else to turn, they go to live with a distant aunt, but her growing resentment and the scarcity of food force them to strike out on their own. The siblings move into an abandoned bomb shelter beside a river, trying to survive on their own as food grows increasingly scarce and the world around them collapses. Through their desperate struggle, the bond between brother and sister is tested by starvation, illness, and the cruel indifference of a war that has no place for innocence. Coming in at number 4, Howl's Moving Castle. The story follows Sophie, a quiet and unassuming young hatmaker who lives a dull life until the Witch of the Waste angered by Sophie's connection to the wizard Howl, curses her and transforms her into an elderly woman. Desperate to break the curse, Sophie leaves her town and stumbles upon Howl's extraordinary castle, a fantastical contraption that wanders the hills on mechanical legs. Inside, she meets Calcifer, the fire demon who powers the castle, and makes a pact with him to free each other from their respective magical bonds. As Sophie becomes part of Howl's unusual household, she finds herself drawn into a war between kingdoms and discovers the true nature of the vain but troubled wizard. Coming in at number 3, My Neighbor Totoro. The story follows Satsuki and her younger sister Mei, who move with their father to an old house in the countryside to be closer to their mother, who is recovering from an illness in a nearby hospital. As they explore their new home in the surrounding woods, Mei encounters a small, rabbit-like creature that leads her to a large, gentle forest spirit named Totoro. Soon, both sisters befriend Totoro and are introduced to a world of magical creatures, including a cat-shaped bus that races across the countryside. Through their adventures with these whimsical spirits, the girls find comfort and joy, helping them cope with the uncertainty and loneliness of their mother's absence. Coming in at number 2, Princess Mononoke. The story follows Ashitaka, a young prince of an isolated village, who is cursed by a demonic boar god while defending his people. The curse grants him superhuman strength, but will eventually consume him. To find a cure, he journeys west into a land torn apart by a brutal conflict between Lady Eboshi of Irontown, who strips the forest for iron, and the ancient gods of the forest, led by the wolf goddess Moro. Caught between humanity's relentless expansion and nature's furious wrath, Ashitaka encounters San, a human girl raised by wolves who fights alongside the gods. He desperately seeks a path to peace, hoping to see with eyes unclouded by hate before the escalating war destroys everything. Coming in at number 1, Spirited Away. The story follows Chihiro, a sullen 10-year-old girl who is moving to a new town with her parents when they stumble upon what appears to be an abandoned amusement park. As night falls, her parents are transformed into pigs after greedily eating food meant for the spirits, and Chihiro finds herself trapped in a supernatural realm. To survive and rescue her parents, she must take a job at a bathhouse run by the powerful witch Yubaba, who renames her Sen. Working alongside a mysterious boy named Haku and a cast of bizarre spirits, Chihiro must navigate this strange world, confront her deepest fears, and discover her own inner strength to break the spell and return to the human world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update.